Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to yet another monthly TBR video where we are going to be using a TBR prompt jar to be choosing the TBR. Okay, so obviously now we're going to be choosing December's TBR, which is honestly crazy that it's already getting close to the end of 2023. I still feel like it's the beginning of fall, yet it's practically winter now, so that's wild. I did actually add a bit more prompt to the jar from the last month's video just since it was starting to get a little bit repetitive, but we shall see what we get. And yeah, so let's just get right into it and I will choose my first book. Okay, so the first one is a seasonal book, and I honestly don't have like too many holiday books. Let me see. I don't know if I have any like winter. Yeah, I don't feel like I have a ton of specifically winter books. I know I have like a ton of summer books, but not necessarily winter. Okay, you know what? I don't know if this fully counts, but it's an ice skating book, and to me that screams winter, just at least, you know, ice and all that. So we're gonna actually go with From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata. I have had this book for such a long time. I think I just forget about it because it's usually like behind something just being displayed, but I actually haven't read any of Mariana Zapata's books before, so I'm really excited for that. I am not totally sure what the plot is for this one. I do think that they're ice skating pairs partners probably, and that ends up, you know, turning into a romance. And I'm not sure if there's any specific tropes like enemies to lovers or anything like that, but obviously it is a romance book, so we'll just leave it at that. And yeah, so I'm really just excited to read this and finally see what the hype about Mariana Zapata is, because like I said, haven't read any of her books yet. Alright. So book number 2 is going to be a hardcover book. Okay. So I don't have too many hardcovers, but I will say, so I have most of my hardcovers right here. I do have a couple new ones that I did just get, but I am not going to add any of those into this video just because I do have a haul coming up and I'll just save it for that. Also, you guys, I got a bug bite on my face. Isn't that awful? Also, I swear, my neighbor's dogs always want to start barking whenever I try to film anything, and it's really annoying. Like, I love dogs, but if your dogs are outside the entire day, there's kind of a problem with that. I don't know. Anyways, so one book that I have been really wanting to read for a long time, just because I really do like Olivia Blake. I have just been really wanting to get to Alone with You in the Ether, which I usually do try to go into books blind, so my synopsis of these books are going to probably be pretty awful and potentially pretty wrong, but I do know that it's a love story, but not like a traditional love story in the sense. Okay, so a story about two broken people crashing together like comets. That sounds interesting. That sounds something like that would be right up my alley, so we're going to go ahead and add Alone with You in the Ether to my TBR. Alright. Okay, so the next one is going to be a book with yellow on the cover. So I do have a couple options for this one. I have Twice Shy, Life's Too Short, Better Than the Movies, and Carrie Soto is Back, and also The Bodyguard. But I think I'm actually gonna go with Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez. I absolutely love the books from Abby Jimenez that I've read so far. I read Part of Your World from her, and then also Yours Truly, and also the one with the playlist in it, I can't remember. Anyways, I have really liked all of the ones that I've read from her, especially Part of Your World and Yours Truly. I absolutely devoured those, and I just love Abby Jimenez's writing, so I definitely want to pick this one up soon. And I haven't read any of her books in quite a while, so I am looking forward to picking up another one from her. So this one sounds pretty interesting, actually. I guess it's a YouTuber who travels, and so I guess she ends up taking care of her half-sister's baby. Something like that. I don't know. Sounds interesting. Again, love Abby Jimenez, so I'll probably love it, you know, regardless of what the actual plot ends up being. Alright, so now book number 4. A pink book. Okay, I think I have a decent number of pink books. Okay, I will say a lot of my pink books kind of give summer vibes, like especially, you know, the Summer of Broken Rules and Love and Gelato and My Fault, but one book that I have been really wanting to pick up for such a long time is Love in Other Words. I feel like this was, again, one of just those OG, like, popular TikTok books that I just haven't really thought about in a while, since a lot of people kind of stopped talking about it a little bit, but I do really want to pick it up at some point, and I think the cover is so cute. I think it's like childhood best friends to lovers, and they like spend a week together and they have these favorite words that they say, like, oh, what's your word of the day or word of the week or something like that, and that just sounds really cute and adorable. So we're gonna add this one as number 4. Also, I did just shower, so my hair is kind of like wonky right now. A really hyped book. I feel like I just read one of my like most hyped books, which was Powerless. Catching my reading fantasy for a week video. I mean, honestly, I do feel like a lot of the books that I read are pretty hyped, which is why I end up buying them in the first place. So I do think we have a little bit of options with this one. I think anything by Emily Henry is very hyped, so that could definitely be an option. Also, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow is incredibly hyped, so that's also potential. But yeah, you know what? I've only read 2 of my Emily Henry books, so let's just add another one onto the list. So we're just going to put Book Lovers, since People We Meet on Vacation just seems a little bit more summery than I'm in the mood for right now. So we're going to add Book Lovers. And okay, so it looks like our FMC is a literary agent and then our MMC is an editor. So that sounds cute, and I'm a book lover, so I'll probably like it. I don't know, I've had mixed feelings about some of Emily Henry's books. I absolutely loved Beach Reads, and I really did like Happy Place, but there was something that happened in the end that really just rubbed me the wrong way as someone who's a pre-med, but it was a small detail, but it just kind of irked me, and every time I think about that book, that's the only thing that I think about, so I don't know. But anyways, another Emily Henry book that I can hopefully get off my physical TBR, and so Book Lovers is going to be book number 5. Okay. A new author, so basically an author that I haven't read one of their books yet before. And okay, so one thing that's kind of already immediately sticking out to me is the Poppy War. I had this on my last month, for I guess this month still, because it's still November. I had it on this month's TBR, and I just have not had the time to get around to reading it, but I still really want to. But then also I have Andy Weir Project Hail Mary, which is a sci-fi book, and I've only read one sci-fi series before, which was Red Rising, and I kind of want to just get into more sci-fi books because I really did love that series so much, and I've heard really good things about this one. I don't know. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna add this one just to like push myself and see if we'll get to it, just because I do feel like I see myself picking up the Poppy War pretty soon anyways. So we're gonna go ahead and add Andy Weir's Hail Mary. Again, I don't know too much about what this is about, but I do believe that we have our main character going on a mission in outer space, which is, you know, would make sense based off this cover. And oh, okay, so he's not the only one going on this mission, he's the sole survivor of it, and if he fails, humanity and Earth itself will perish. Okay, so we got some high stakes, and again, sci-fi. I feel like it's honestly very similar to fantasy, so, you know, I kind of lump them together. It's just fantasy and space, basically. Alright, that was book number 6, so book number 7 will be a book I think will be 5 stars. Ooh, I had this one last time too. Okay, you know what? So I am currently reading the first book in this duology, which is We Hunt the Flame, and I am only 30% into it right now, but so far I am absolutely just loving it. I'm eating it up, all of that good stuff. So I think I plan on reading this book in the near future, you know, hopefully during December anyways, and so that's gonna be We Free the Stars. This is the second and last book in this, you know, obviously duology. I'm not totally sure if it will be a 5-star book, but just based off how much I'm already loving this first book, I think that it definitely has the potential to be. So basically this series is set in ancient Arabia, but it's not like historical. It's obviously still got fantasy and magical elements to it, and so in this world, at least at the point to where I am reading in the first book, there was magic in this world, and now it's gone, and you know, the world's kind of in danger because there's this like darkness creeping closer. I'm not totally sure how to explain it, but like I said, I'm already absolutely loving it, and it does sound like it'll continue really well, so I am excited to finish that one. And it is enemies to lovers. Obviously I don't know where it'll end off, so can't really give away too much, but I just think that this book definitely has the potential to be a 5 stars, if not the first one being a 5 stars. And yeah, so this will be book number 7. Also, guys, I don't know why. I just feel like sometimes, like, my brain just, like, doesn't work in a linear fashion. I do have ADHD, so that's probably a good, you know, or that's definitely a reason why. But if I ever just, like, don't make sense, you know, I'm sorry. I don't make sense to myself either. Anyways, okay, so a book with a movie or a TV adaptation. Okay, so there is one that does immediately pop out since the adaptation is pretty recent, which is the Red, White, and Royal Blue. Let me see if I have, oh, also Lessons in Chemistry did come out recently, and I think that's it. Oh, also Me Before You. I mean, there's literally the movie cover as the cover for this book. But I actually think I'm gonna go with Lessons in Chemistry since I will only be in school for the first like half of December, and I have been kind of putting this one off since I don't really feel like reading, you know, a potentially more like intellectual, difficult read while I'm in school. And I think while I have a break, this will be like the perfect time to read this. I know it's set in like the 60s. Yeah, so the 60s, and it's basically just like about some of the difficulties of women in STEM and just like being in a male dominated career. I think it's also like she has a cooking show or something like that. Yeah. And I don't know, I think this sounds really interesting. I don't know how much it's actually like about chemistry itself, which if it is, I actually wouldn't mind that. I know this is kind of weird, but chemistry is probably one of my more favorite subjects in school. So if there is actually a lot of like chemistry, you know, terms or little like jokes in there, I will actually eat that up. So we shall see about this one, and I am really excited to read this one. Again, just because of the name and I love chemistry, so we'll see. I think that was actually number 8. Let's just do 10, you know? Make it a nice, full, even number. Okay, so next is a book with flowers on the cover. We do have The Bodyguard or Hello Stranger. That's potential. I have A Touch of Darkness, which again I've had forever. Things We Hide from the Light, which even though I literally did just get the last book in that trilogy, I am scared to read because I didn't like the first one. Why did I get the rest of the trilogy when I didn't like the first one? Because I already had the first one and they're pretty covers. But actually, I think I'm gonna read... But actually, I think I'm just going to add A Touch of Darkness, which is a Hades and Persephone retelling. And I also have had this one for such a long time. And I have read one Hades and Persephone retelling before, which was Neon Gods. And I did like that one, but it wasn't, you know, anything crazy. I've heard pretty mixed things about this one, I think. I've heard some people say they absolutely loved it. I've heard other people say it was mid. So we shall see what my thoughts are on this. And yeah, so this will be fun. I absolutely love Greek mythology and Greek mythology retellings. I grew up, you know, reading Percy Jackson, and that was my like absolute favorite book series ever when I was younger, so I'm excited about this one. And then so for the last book, book number 10, it will be a book with a person on the cover, and that's including cartoon, because I don't even think I get books with real people on the cover most of the time, other than I guess Me Before You. But okay, again, a couple options. I am leaning towards one already, but we have Twice Shy, Better Than the Movies, Carrie Soto Is Back. People, honestly, a lot of them have people on the covers. That's the cheat sheet. That makes it kind of easy, but I think we are just going to actually add The Poppy War, because again, I do think I really want to pick this up anyways, and we do got our little person in the corner. I have just been in such a fantasy mood lately. It's honestly like all I want to read, so I do really want to pick this up. And again, I haven't read any of R.F. Kuang's books yet, and she just seems like such a good author that I really want to start reading some of her books. I have recently gotten Babel, you know, watch back for the new haul that'll probably be coming up in the next week or two. Honestly, I'm not totally sure, just because school has been kind of wild lately. I only have 2 weeks left, but yeah, so we're gonna add The Poppy War. It is set in like old China? Question mark? I don't even know. I don't know anything about the books I buy apparently, but yeah, so we're gonna add Poppy War, and that will be the 10th and final book on my December TBR. Okay guys, so oh god, it's kind of hard to carry. So these are going to be the 10 books on my December TBR. We don't have like too much diversity. I would say it is a good amount of romance and fantasy, and oh, I guess we have one sci-fi and one like lit fic, but like I just said, I have been in such a fantasy kick lately that I don't really feel like reading anything else, so we'll see if I actually get to the other ones or not. But that is gonna wrap up this video. I hope you guys liked it. Definitely let me know if you've read any of these books or what your thoughts are on them, and yeah, so I think that's gonna wrap wrap it up for me. I will see you guys all in the next one. I hope you liked this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you did. And yeah, so I will see you guys all in the next one. Missing someone.